Good morning again, everyone. A Fox 10 News alert reports of gunfire erupting inside of a downtown Phoenix hotel. Massive scene out there this morning surrounding the hotel, which is in the area of 3rd Street and Van Buren, the Hyatt Regency Hotel. We do know that Phoenix police have multiple city blocks closed for the investigation. This morning, Sergeant Maggie Cox with the Phoenix Police Department is joining us live on the phone with an update. Good morning, Sergeant. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
So what can you tell us? I do know that you were called out to the scene around 12:30 this morning, and then we do have reports of multiple victims this morning.
Yes, so the call came out as a shooting at the hotel at 2nd Street in Monroe. The information we had going in was that there was multiple people shot. As our officers arrived, they were met with multiple people with gunshot injuries. So officers began taking the victims out to be met with fire away from the hotel until we ensured the safety of the scene. So while they were doing that, they located another we believe to be an adult, but a male inside the hotel that was actually pronounced deceased. So as you can imagine, we've got multiple people getting treatment, going to various hospitals, and then we have one male inside the hotel deceased. Officers worked throughout the hotel to make sure there was no other victims, checking welfare, worked with the hotel staff. What I can share now, what we believe happened is there was an altercation between a group of people that were attending a function at the hotel. At some point, somebody fired a gun, and we believe there was more than one person to fire a gun, and we're really trying to work through to see what the involvement is of each of these people. I can tell you there was also multiple witnesses, so we've got a lot of work to do. Our detectives are on scene trying to figure out what role everyone had in this incident. We do believe it was isolated to this group of people. What I can tell you about the people at the hospital, we had a total of 7 people at the hospital with what we believe to be non-life-threatening injuries. The age range from the victims gunshot wound victims, are from 18 to 22 years old, and at this time, like I said, between 1st Street to 3rd Street on Monroe is restricted, so to foot traffic as well as vehicle traffic, and then it is restricted access to the front of the hotel. It will be several hours before we'll have additional updates like I said, investigators are working through those interviews, reviewing any surveillance, and try to determine everyone's involvement in the incident.
Sergeant, what about a potential shooter? Did multiple people, if this was a disagreement, did we have multiple people shooting, or did we just have one shooter?
We believe there's more than one shooter. Yes, we believe there's more than one shooter. So as you can imagine, we had 7 people that are at the hospital. We have 1 deceased. So what everyone's role, who was shooting, we don't know that yet. It's too early to say, but we don't believe that there's any safety concerns for the community or for the hotel. We do believe that we have everyone we need to speak with. Mm-hmm. We are encouraging anyone that was a witness that we haven't already talked to or isn't having contact with us to please call. If you want to remain anonymous, please call Silent Witness. But I will say that this happened, but again, really want to stress it seems to be an isolated incident. It was in an isolated area of the hotel, not a random act, and we will provide updates as they become available.
Yeah, we do appreciate your quick response. When you mentioned that when the officers arrived on scene, they were met with the multiple victims. Were these victims inside the hotel, inside of a hotel room, or were they running outside trying to seek help?
You know what? I'm not sure on much about where. I can confirm the incident occurred inside the hotel, and as our officers were arriving, I don't know if they were already out or if they were on their way out. But it sounds like it was pretty much we are arriving. And the call came out. We were there within 2 minutes of that, the call to police. So we were there within 2 minutes. So I'm not sure exactly where everyone was, but the shooting did occur inside the hotel.
Maggie, this is Ty. I just have one quick question for you. You mentioned that they were attending some sort of function. Do you know what type of function this was? Was it a birthday party or some sort of conference that folks were there for?
It was late night. I don't believe it was a conference. I just don't know what sort of party it might have been or what they were supposed to be celebrating. I can't speak to that.
The witnesses that you have, Sergeant, are they cooperating? Are they giving you guys the information you need?
You know what? I don't know that information. I know there's multiple people to be spoken with. I hope that they're cooperative, but I don't know right now. Like, you're getting this information as soon as I could get out of the briefing, so those detectives that are on scene are going to be working through that. Probably take the next several hours, I imagine, for them to complete their interviews and then process the scene.
Sergeant, we really appreciate your time, the information, and of course the quick response. Again, believed to be an isolated incident shooting taking place inside the Hyatt Regency Hotel shortly after midnight. We have at least 7 people rushed to the hospital, 1 person dead at the scene. And that area of the downtown, Phoenix downtown area will be closed to both traffic, pedestrian traffic, as well as police continue to investigate. Very importantly, there are witnesses and potential shooters who police do have in their custody, and they're chatting with this morning. We're going to keep you guys posted. We'll be following this throughout the entire day.